For today's assignment, we are actually going to add color to our Van Gogh drawing that we created previously. So let's go ahead and go into Procreate and find your um, project that should have your initials and say Van Gogh. If it's not there, then you will need to go to Import and open it up from your Google Drive. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this a little bit so that I can see the screen area going around, and then I can twist and manipulate the way I want to. So right now, this first layer is our reference layer. You should have the word reference there. If you do not, you need to tap and then go to reference and click it and make it the reference layer. We do not add any color onto this layer. So for every color, different color. So all the yellows will be on one layer, all the blues will be on a layer, all the greens. So you're going to add a layer for each color. So I'm going to add a layer, and then I'm going to come here and tap on my screen, and then I'm going to decide what I'm going to go with first. And I think I'm going to do the grass. Now, remember, you can use the colors that you want to use. I'm going to go ahead and continue to use green, so I'm going to scroll it around to the green here. And sometimes this doesn't want to move. And so you just have to push and play around with it a little bit and get it to move. But adjust it to the green. See how the green changes? It can be a very light green. It can be a darker green, depending on what you want. And I think I'm going to do a warmer green more towards the yellow there and pop it off to the side here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it into the layers, into the sections that I want to go in. Now remember, if you do not have that first layer on reference, it's going to fill the whole screen. If you don't have your lines touching somewhere, that paint color is going to fill the whole screen. So those are the two reasons it would fill the whole screen. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to drop my colors in. And for this, when that happens, hit undo. And it just means you need to widen up your space here and drop there. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to squeeze it back down. I'm still using the same color green. So I'm going to come here and I'm just skipping. Okay. I'm done with this green. And anytime I want to use this particular green is I would be on this layer. I would be on this layer here. So now I'm going to add another layer, and now I'm going to add a different color green. Make it darker. Okay. And now I'm going to come in and fill in those areas. And you can always check to see that you're on a different layer. Okay, that's all of my green area. Now I'm going to do my path. Once again, I'm going to add another layer here. And I want my path to be brown. And brown is usually in the orange area. So I'm going to come here and choose a path color and fill that in. Now I'm going to color in this area here, and I want it to be pink colors. So once again, I'm going to add a new layer. And I'm going to choose a pink. And let's see, more like that. Okay. And fill that area in there and this area in here. So this is working for me because all of my lines are touching and my shapes and everything are closed. And I am not on the reference. I'm going to go to more of this color here, and I'm going to do my little rectangles. Undo. And this is called color dropping. Now, the one thing I do need to show you is, let's just say, for instance, you went over here and you changed the color and you needed this color back. If you hold your finger down, a dropper will pop up and it will change it to the color you had before. So I'll show you that again. So let's just say I changed the color here and I need this particular color. I would just hold my finger down and the dropper will come up and it will change it to the previous color, or not the previous color, but the color that you've chosen. Okay. Now I'm going to go into my sky area. And once again, I'm going to create a new layer. Oops, I forgot to split those layers up. That's going to cause a little bit of a problem later on. So here I am on a new layer, but what I could do is undo. So that's what I'm going to do, because this is going to cause me some problems later on when I go to add shading. Okay, so now I'm going to add the layer, and now I'm going to go back in and add those colors. Because like I said, when it's time to add shading to this, that will cause some problems if it's not separated. Okay, that's done. Now I'm going to work on the sky. Add a new layer. Now I'm going to do my sky 2 different colors. I'm going to use a purple and a blue. So I'm going to go down to purple, and I'm going to start adding that purple in there where I want it to go. I'm going to skip this one. And that tiny, tiny space right there, there is possibly a gap there. Yep, see how that happened? It's because there's a gap there. So what I have to do when I see that happen, I have to go back to my reference. Layer 1, turn on, go to black, and then fix that real quick. Just kind of close it up. And then go back to, did that just go on that layer? Let me make sure. Okay, so I'm going to go back to reference layer, and then make sure I'm on the reference layer. See how I'm still on the reference layer? Now I can go back to the purple layer and pick the purple, and then come down here and drag, and now it fills in. And this comes down here. This is here. That's good. Okay. And so as you can see, I'm like taking turns, like every other one I'm turning purple. Uh-oh. Okay, so this means, once again, that there is a gap, and there it is right there. So I'm going to hit undo, go back to my layer 1 with my reference, choose my pen. Let's see, I need it to be black. Okay, make sure I'm on reference. Yep, I'm still there. I'm going to close that line right there. Okay, now go back up to my purple layer, choose my purple, and then now it should work. There we go. So I'm glad that happened, so you could see what I'm talking about. If the lines are not closed, then it fills up everything. Okay, so now I'm going to add another layer, and then this time I'm going to go with a really pretty blue. Go in and fill in the rest of my sky. Okay. Now we're going to do the moon and the stars. This will be the last part of the assignment for today. So you're going to go and add yet another layer. Okay, and I'm going to go from really dark or orange to yellow in the center. So I'm going to start on the outside, and I'm going to go to like a yellow-orange color and do the outside of each one of these. And remember, your colors can be different than mine. They do not have to be mine, the same colors I'm using. Okay, then I'm going to go to a yellowish orange color there. Oop, wrong thing. Sometimes you have to increase the size here. And there. And then add another layer. Now I'm going to go to bright orange, bright yellow. Okay. And let's see, we got to do right about there. And then fill that in. Oop. Undo. What happened there? We're on a new layer. There we go. And that did not fill up that little bitty spot. So get it as big as you can and then drag it in there. And I'm probably going to have the same situation with these two stars. Oop. Okay, now this looks really good. So now I'm ready to save it. And so once again, we go to the wrench, we go to the share, we go to Procreate, and we choose Drive. It's already named. Select folder, My Drive, your art folder, save here, and upload. And that concludes today's assignment.